All right. Hey, everyone. This is Cameron from Glance once again. We're just going to sadly have to record this webinar because I messed up and wrote down the wrong time, and then also have an alumni event I got invited to tonight. So hopefully, this is hopeful. I am kind of upset that I can't do it live. So I've committed to making it the best webinar in the series. I guess you can talk a little junk. Anyone else that has done a webinar and wants to at me on Twitter and talk some junk, I'm always down to do that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. My hair's falling everywhere. So this should be about 30 minutes or so. And then if you guys send chats or send questions tonight, I can still answer them. I just have to be in a Alumni Foundation box with the chancellor and stuff like that. So should be fun. All right, so let's get into my talk is going to be about how to use social network platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, little Twitter, GitHub, stuff like that to bring you tons and tons of candidates. And the overall goal is that you're going to get so many candidates that you don't really do outbound sourcing. You just talk to the candidates and figure out what roles they're looking for. And if you don't have something to fill for them right then, you kind of put them in a queue or put them in a checklist and help them out down the road. And if you help people, you're going to do really, really well. So without further ado, let's flip my screen around. Should be, so we've got my notifications are killed this time because last time they were annoying. All right, here we go, share screen. Should see Nitty's messaging me right now. How are you, Nitty? All right. So let's talk just general ideas of everything, and then we'll go through. Here's my kind of spreadsheet of what I'm going to talk about. So what we're talking about today is roughly called growth hacking. If you're in the startup world, it's gotten a bad name because it comes off as spammy sometimes when you don't know what you're doing. Kind of like people used to do with spamming emails before Gmail made the spam filter. So everything I'm teaching you is the right way to do it. It's not spammy. And if you're adding value to people, they'll never get mad. If you're just spamming them and sending them thousands and thousands of notifications or tweets or messages, whatever it is, you're not helping anyone. You're actually damaging your company, damaging your brand, damaging your professional reputation. So a lot of the things that I'm going to cover came from this Banff Bible. It's on Product Hunt. You just go there and I think you click one button and you can get a copy of it. You probably wonder what Banff is. The best growth hackers in the game are Ben Clancy, who in this video teaches for about an hour, teaches you pretty much everything that I'm going to, maybe even better than I'm going to teach it. I'm tailoring it a little towards recruiting. And then Josh Fetcher started Banff. Banff is a media company. And he teaches you everything you need to do, a little bit about his background, why he's in growth, and some of the companies he's worked with. The other person you should check out is Justin Liu. And let's see, I'll put his link right here. We'll just search LinkedIn. Yeah, this guy. If it'll load, yeah. So he's another huge one. He runs an agency as well, Growthly, that handles growth for a lot of SaaS companies. So I'll put his link right here just so you guys can check him out. You can search him online pretty much anywhere. All right, so let's jump into some of the tools, some of the ways that you can do stuff. So generally on this side, I have what the tool is. And then on this side, I have what it does. And then there are links in here to like read more about it. So SimilarWeb lets you find high engagement websites where you can grow your community on. So what I would suggest you do is you use SimilarWeb to maybe go find where DevOps people hang out, or maybe where SDRs or maybe AEs if you're looking for SaaS roles, or sourcers hang out, for example. Like whatever you're looking for, you can use SimilarWeb to find it. Nitty messaged me earlier in the week that she was having some trouble finding DevOps people. So I've got this link for GitHub in here where you can extract 100,000 emails very quickly. So let's hop into this link and let's talk a little bit more about it. All right, so should be this link right here. Okay. So if you're going to target technical audiences, GitHub can be a great place to start just because they have good APIs. We use this technique to target DevOps professionals using AWS, but you can do it for anything you want. No one should be scared of running a script since this is a source of truth code, but if you are, you could get a VA or you can just send me a message on Facebook and I'll help you do it. You'll need Python on your machine. And if you go to my YouTube channel, there are videos for installing Python on Mac and installing Python on Windows and how to get all that set up. You can use an AWS EC2 instance. That just means like a server that Amazon has if you'd like, but chances are if you're watching this, you're trying to limit the technical things you do. So I'd recommend doing it on your machine. Here's a link to GitHub where this guy wrote a script that lets you get every user that starred a piece of code. I cloned it here. Honestly, you should just go to his repo and make sure to give him a star or like. Let's see, how would you do that? You can watch it, you can star it. Just star it because, I mean, this is a great piece of code for what we're going to try to do today. So you use the search function in GitHub to find code repos for your chosen subject. God, I can't talk. So we want to get out of just this repo, and that's all my private stuff. But like, let's see, someone's looking for a React.js engineer, front-end engineer. So we've got this library. Let's look and see if we can sort by most stars. Should get the real React library. 16,000, for example. So we find this React Starter Kit, isomorphic web app, boilerplate using Node, which is JavaScript on the back end, Express is JavaScript, ReactQL is another library that Facebook wrote. Just a nice way to interact between the front end and the back end. React.js is our front end framework that we're going to talk about, Babel, PostCSS, and Webpack. Anything on this side is front end. This is how it interacts between the two, and this is back end stuff. So typically, if you're using React, you're probably also using these, and even browser sync, these libraries. So if maybe a hiring manager tells you you're looking for React, this is a good place to start. So you see we've got 16,000 stars here. So what do we need to do? Contains a script used to get the GitHub information. We've got all that. Use the script, fill in the access token with a personal access token obtained from the settings panel on GitHub. Additionally, set the desired repo name in the form of, So let's grab this on my computer, and then I'll show you a little bit about it. I'm not going to do all of it, but we'll just take a little stab and look at the code. Come on, where's my, I just worked it. Here we go. And this is in Python. All right, so repos, here we go. All right, so you fill in, the only two things you need to do, you fill in this access token with the directions. Max Wolf actually wrote this. So go on Twitter and give him a shout out because he's going to help us a lot. And then put your repo link in here. And then what it's going to do is it's going to cycle through and it's going to grab everyone that fits what we're looking for that has favorited this repo. Let me get back over to it. Come on. We'll get in those stars. React.js. Come on, please. Yeah, so this is just an example, but we should get 16,000 people out of it. And if you have any questions or any problems with that, just shoot me a message and I can help you. So we've done that, and then we get our CSV when that's done. We're going to have to strip it out. You can read through all this stuff, but once you've done that, you should get That was just one repo too. So you could probably do like 5 or 10, and you'd get up to 100,000 people that are actively engaged in the topic that you're looking for, which is really important, and have some level of experience. If they're starring it or if they're forking it, either will work. That means that they probably know React, and they could be a good candidate for you. All right, so then let's talk about unlimited InMails or connection requests. What this is going to do is it's going to let you send longer than 300 character connection requests. Typically, long isn't better, but at times, if you don't know someone or you're really trying to meet them or get in touch with them, this can help. So let's jump into this, and then unlimited InMails. Here we go. Okay, so typically, here's just some basic stats. But what we're going to do in this is we're going to make it possible for you to send someone a longer InMail, whether that's a standard message you want to send to everyone that happened to be on your GitHub list that you used a tool like HireTool, Glance, Full Contact if you want to go the API route, Mixmax if you want to go there. Use something to find their LinkedIn. So maybe you found out of your 100,000 people that liked React, you found 5,000 on LinkedIn. So then you're going to send them all a message that's tailored. But what you want to do is you find out that you have a really good message, but it's maybe 400 characters. So here's a demo that recorded. But when you click customize or you click invitation, you can add a note. And then you see this 300 down here. Like that's typically the limit. But we're going to do something super fun, and we're going to jump in and inspect the console. So if you're in this tab, you just right click, and it won't let me do it in Zoom, but you right click and you scroll down to inspect. You're going to target the ID on the text field. In this case, it was custom message. Really just right click and then use, let me just show you, this would be easier. Let's see, let's go to my connections. We'll see if we can add somebody that I don't know, like maybe this guy. Let's see, can I connect? Yep. All right, bad example. Let's go to somebody else. Maybe this guy. He's in New Jersey. All right, come on, people. All right, well, I can't seem to get it worked. I requested some people this morning, so maybe LinkedIn's trying to flag me, something like that, but I'll make a video about it. So you get the ID of the text field. In this case, it was custom message. You don't really need to know jQuery, but what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to put this $sign and then the field in here .val. And what it's going to do is it's going to return you whatever you type in this box. So what we can do is you can do something like this, where you put what you want your entire message to be right here. So if I wanted to say, hey, my name is Cameron, and this text is 1,000 characters long, it would show up in this, this customized invitation box. And then we can just hit send. So here's an example where it says -12 on this side, but it doesn't actually catch that we are in negatives of too many characters. So then you can send an invitation, and that way you can share a lot more information, or you can get people more interested in what you're talking about. All right. So let's grow our LinkedIn pretty fast now. So we've gone GitHub, or we just started at LinkedIn if you're not looking for technical talent. And we've been able to kind of hack the system to get more characters. Now what we're going to do is we're going to think about how can we grow our network? How can we bring more people that we might know that might be a good fit for either sales or our job? I think this is the one I need. Yeah. So do you use multiple email addresses? you've bulk emailed people before, maybe you've done a MailChimp or something like that, you can add a bunch. I mean, this is 1,500 people in 10 minutes for this example. So you go to privacy and settings, and then you replace your primary email with another email of yours. So this is, you log back in. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to switch out what contacts you have under one email, and you're going to put a new one in. Then you're going to click your network, and then you're going to add contacts. You're going to add the people with this this email, and it's going to send them a request. And if you know the people or you've talked to them before, they're not going to get mad that you're sending them a request. I've seen on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's become a lot like Facebook in the last 6 months, that people are open to connecting with pretty much whomever now, as long as you have a real profile and some posts and stuff like that. So that's a real easy way that you can pick up 1,000 or 2,000 leads for different jobs or stuff like that in about 10 minutes. So this is a really interesting one, and this one was written for high-value customers, but I think we're going to apply it more in the sense of recruiting in this sense. So Dean DaCosta has great videos on different tools, Data-Miner being one of them. You can use it to get leads or get data out of pages. Filter out, so you basically need to get a connection or get your connection list, and then you're going to filter them out and start following their pulse feeds. Their pulse feeds are just like activity feeds. It becomes tricky when you have hundreds of contacts, but you already have the follow function turned on. So make sure to create a table with targets and check them regularly, or automate this whole thing with a script, which I could write that script maybe next week sometime. So then what you want to do is you want to watch what your potential clients or potential candidates are sharing. It's easy to spot patterns, subjects, and tech trends. Take a note of the ones they commented on, or generally take note of the content. This can be found in their pulse feed. Prepare your interesting news link to share with your potential customer. By now, you already know the things that they're interested in. So then we're going to wrap this interesting news link in a Sniply link. Let's open Sniply. So Sniply lets you add a call to action to every link that you share. So instead of just sending a link like maybe like a Bleacher Report article if they're into sports, or you can see the demo right here, you're sending them something interesting, and then you're going to ask them for something. So you might say like, hey, if you like this, subscribe to my chatbot, subscribe to my email newsletter. Let me know. I've been doing this in some emails recently that I was testing for this video just for feedback. Earlier this week, I sent out a blast, 50 people using the template that Josh Betcher wrote and one of the tools that he recommended, just so I could use it and recommend it in the video or not recommend it. So that's, if you got that email, it was mainly in preparation for this video. So we've used Sniply, and what you want to do is the call to action needs to be relevant and related to the article, so it looks like you're helping them out and you're giving them a hidden bonus. So like, please, everything I'm telling you, do not be spammy. Do it with good intentions. And then once you're sure you have a hot lead, you can use this to integrate live chat. So maybe someone's clicked on the link twice or something like that. You can put live chat directly on top of your link. Kind of, I guess, a little less like that. Let's watch a demo. So then basically what you can do is you can push people through kind of your top of the funnel. So what you're doing is you've gotten a bunch of emails, you've gotten people interested, you're sending them relevant information after you've looked at their feeds, or you're sending them relevant information after you've looked at what they've starred on GitHub. And then what you're going to do is you're going to send them a call to action with the information you're sending them. Something like, hey, tell me if this is relevant. And if people respond that it was relevant, that means they're probably interested in the topic. They like what you're doing, or they like the angle that you came at from, and you should keep talking to them. And if they respond it's not relevant, you should do them a service and take them off your list. They're just not interested right now. Put them in another list and wait 6 months and maybe think about some other ways that you could add value to them. So then here's a tool or a way to get emails from a Facebook group. So right now, Facebook groups are kind of the ultimate hack to community and engagement and reaching outside of your network, really better than LinkedIn by far. Everyone's on Facebook, so if you're looking for mechanics, I was talking to Jay this morning. He's the CEO of an agency in Wisconsin that does mechanic placements. We were drumming up some ideas for him to get more leads. We basically came up with a way for him to get about 100x the leads. But we use this. I think this is just a document showing you how to do it, and then we'll actually see the tool. Let's see. Come on. This isn't right. This is the right one. Yeah. So you're going to use Growthers, and we're going to export the members and their company name. Then we're going to use something like Twoper, Hunter. Blockspring is a good one. Bing. You can use HireTool, a million different things to get emails. They're all roughly the same. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get all this data. You're going to pump it through something like this, and you're going to get back everyone that's in the Facebook group. And that's a simple way to get a bunch of leads. I mean, if the group is really bad, so you're really looking for groups that have like 100 to 1,000 members. Those are typically high engagement. People in there are pretty curated of what they're looking for. Anything that's up in like the 15,000 or higher typically is very spammy and not worth your time. So now that you've gotten leads from here, you're gonna do some scaling of your content through a Facebook chatbot, which is roughly the new email. So many people are trying to optimize their copy in an email to get like 1% more opens when Messenger will do, a Facebook message will do like 90% opens, 50, 60, 70% click through. So like just by going to where people are, you can get 60x the return on your time. So here's a way to do it. Josh was testing Messenger using ManyChat. He did a poll. 39 of 40 people preferred responding to Messenger than email. Email's bloated, email's slow. Messenger's just way better. So you can click this link and you can get added to Josh's list. Whatever, super awesome. Test it out, see if it works for you guys. Typically what happens in email is you have like one shot to get someone's attention, and if it doesn't work, you're kind of screwed. And in Messenger, you can do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So that's the way I'd recommend it. People to grow. You can do it on just either like an individual level or a department level or maybe a role level, where you get a bunch of people interested, or you find some groups, people that are interested in React, and you go to code.facebook.com. Facebook maintains React, and you just read the articles that Facebook puts out about the new features of React. I'll show you how to do that right now. I think it's code.facebook.com. Yeah, this is the one I read the other day and sent to some people. So React 16, a look inside an API compatible rewrite of our front end. You really don't need to know what this means. You can just send this to someone and say like, hey, like React rewrote Fiber. Once you read this, you see that Fiber, they made this like really cool website, and it tells you the tests that Fiber or React have. So they have 2,000 tests, and if they're passing. And a lot of people don't know this stuff. So like you can get developers' attention pretty quickly if you just show them things like this. And you send them a link, and you use something like the tool that we discussed up here, Sniply, that lets you add a call to action, and you can say, hey, like I sent you this. Did you think this was relevant? And if you did, let me know why, or let me know what you're interested in. That's an even better way to take it. I've started doing this on some of my lists where people tell me what part of my product they're most interested in, so that when I talk to them, or maybe not when I talk to them, maybe when I have 2,000 people responding, I can determine that the #1 feature, the #1 reason why someone would use my product is because of this. You can do the exact same thing with recruiting, where you send 1,000 emails, or you send whatever Facebook messages, and you ask people, hey, what were you most interested in? And if you figure out that everyone's interested in React.js, but they're not interested in Webpack because they use something else, then stop talking to them about Webpack. Then you can double down on React, or you can double down on what they actually use. And then you're going to make this very curated niche of people that know you, and they're super easy, super able to get in contact with. So this link is about targeted emails, and everyone still uses email. I use it. So I don't think we can get out of using it. Just understand that it's one notch on the belt, not the only thing you should be doing. And what it's going to do is it's going to show you how to get people to respond, and you're going to learn about them via email instead of trying to sell or be transactional right away. So you're using the best prospecting tools. We've talked about it earlier, and you have 300 emails to send. You just send these emails out one by one. Please do not do that. Use Mixmax. I'm not affiliated with Mixmax, but it's really, really good. And I'll show you exactly what it looks like right now. They offer a free trial. If anyone's ever used Slack, it basically puts all the Slack fundamentals or functionality inside of email. So you can do crazy stuff like create a template, you can add charts, you can send later, you can send at the best time for people, all their links preview. You can put code in it, GIFs, surveys. I mean, it's just good. So I'll show you what my little dashboard looks like. And again, I picked this up just for just to test out for this video. I wanted to make sure that if I recommended something, I had at least used it a little bit. So here's a live feed of what I've sent in Mixmax. I've sent 90 emails, 57% open, 20% reply, 11% clicks, 17% have booked a demo or booked a call. So that's pretty cool just for 50 or so emails that I've sent this week. All right, so we looked at this. Yeah, Mixmax is the best CRM for email I've seen. You can, like, here's an example of a poll. So this is what I'm doing with my product, or even outreach for candidates, is I ask them what they're most interested in, and then I only send them things that they responded. So if someone tells me they're most interested in React, I make sure that they get added to the list that only has React things. Then you can click one-click embed your calendar. So if you want candidates to be able to talk to you, or maybe you just want to learn about them, you can send them some times and they'll book it without leaving Mixmax, which is pretty great. Somewhere in the $9 to $25 range. Most of these products do cost, but if you're using something that can get you thousands and thousands of leads, and you're going to push people through so that you have so many members on your list that you don't know what to do with them. Like, I've got so many candidates, I don't know what to do with them. It's worth paying. I mean, literally, like, if it costs you $100 a month to get all of these tools, and you could make one extra placement, or you can hire one more person this week, this month, this year, it's going to pay for itself. So I'd really recommend using the best tools and stop kind of like trying to optimize for low cost or marginal cost benefit when getting all of them is $100. Here's an example of how to write effective email copy. Copy is the most important thing when you're doing these online forums. Everyone wants to talk about how you just need to get more people in the funnel, which is important, but if your copy is horrible, people are just going to flag you. So use formats like this. Hey, Grace, one of our San Francisco members referred you to our Marketers and Founders Facebook group. We have about 600 members in San Fran. I happen to run one of the largest marketing communities in San Francisco, 2,000 members, in the Facebook group, 4,000 members. Moderated. You can join here if you want to know more. Feel free to reach out. There we go. This receives a 20% join rate, which, if you think that we can do some simple math here, but like maybe let's say that you got 1,000 emails from GitHub, and then you make something using this format. So you add 200 people to your, you're going to add 200 people to your new React.js focused Facebook group. And what happens is when you build a community that's kind of effective like that, those 200 will average and go out and tell 5 of their friends. over the first month or two. So your 200 person group just became 1,000. Wow. Like, sounds like you can make some placements or get some hires off of that. So you can scroll through this link, and there's even a better one down here. This one has a 40% reply rate using some extra customization that you can get using one of the scraping tools that we listed above. And the last thing I'll cover is Twitter engagement. This unfollows bad or inactive people. What you're going to use is Audience. I don't really know how to say it. Audience, I guess spelled real weird. What it does is just like lets you unfollow people that aren't doing anything for your network or not helping you grow your network. So I would recommend it. If you're big on Twitter, I'm not a Twitter guy myself, so I don't really use it much. I used it for a month and cleaned up my Twitter, but these are kind of the high-level growth hacks of what I think you should do. Ultimately, you should also be thinking of your own, but the ultimate play in all of this stuff is you're going to go GitHub, LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta. There are tools and links in here that cover Instagram. What you're going to do is you're going to create this massive network of people that think that you're a knowledgeable recruiter about React.js or DevOps or whatever it is that you decide that you're going to be targeting. And you add Facebook groups, and then you add email lists, and you add Facebook Messenger. And slowly, as you do all of this, you've added thousands and thousands, I mean, literally thousands of leads. And then what you can do is you can add some analytics on the back end to see who's clicking through your links, who's the most engaged. And then you probably want to reach out to them because they're getting a lot of value from the links that you're sending. They clearly care about the topic, React.js. They know what it is. They're reading the links that you have. And then you can convert them to some phone calls, get their resumes or get information from them so they can be in your database and you have them. And I see a lot of people trying to be transactional in recruiting. They really just want to maybe message someone on LinkedIn and tell them they have the perfect job, and they say yes, and then collect either the notch they filled the position or the commission check from their agency. And a lot of these people are going to lose in the long term when people like you and me do things like this that build thousands and thousands of people in a community. So that's roughly my talk. If anyone has questions, concerns, like I said, I can answer them in real time. I just couldn't record this in real time since I'm going to be at a football game. So thank you all for listening. Like I said, all these things are perfect to grow a community. I'm kind of case in point that 6 weeks ago, none of you knew who I was, and now you do. And now I'm doing a webinar and I'm talking at SourceCon. There's a lot of stuff like this that you can stack growth, you can stack your leads and just really explode. And as you do more of it, it gets easier and easier and easier, and you get more leads and more contacts and more traction. It just goes exponential. So thank you all for listening. I would love to know how to stop sharing my screen, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to do that. So I will pause share. All right. So thank you all. Super great talking. Send me messages, send me quotes or anything that you think I can help with. If you want some help or you need the slides or this link, email me at, KM@glance.ai, and I will send you more information. Thanks, guys.